We are living through a historic time in the gold and silver markets. We have a lot to be optimistic about. Big reasons why. We're going to talk about the COMEX and something breaking at the COMEX, but it's not what you think it is. We got charts to look at, but let's first just talk about what's happening today, which is nothing short of incredible in the silver and gold markets. We're going to go out and take a look at the spot price right now, get a quick update, and then we're going to talk about the reasons they are giving us for why we're having, up $4 per ounce. Silver at $77.62, gold at $4,990. But why? What are the reasons why we're being told the gold and silver price are moving like they are? Okay, let's go out to KITCO, and there's some really good news embedded in what they're telling us. KITCO, our friends at KITCO tell us this, which is gold and silver rally on bargain buying. Remember that. There's an important reason why we're going to remember that. Gold and silver prices are sharply higher near midday Wednesday. Prices are seeing corrective bounces from Tuesday's losses, as well as some perceived bargain hunting. April gold was up 116. In March, silver prices were up $4.30. Guys, think about this. The reason why I wanted to bring that up. If they're talking about gold being a bargain at $5,000 per ounce, silver being a bargain at $77, $78 per ounce, the bargain hunters are coming in for $80 silver, basically. That's a very good sign, okay? That's actually a sign of a floor being put in. And there's no doubt about it. If we can get a floor, let's focus on silver, at $80, $75 per ounce, even if it takes, oh my gosh, it would feel like forever, another month or two, or possibly even longer, that we build a base in silver at 75, 70, even possibly $80 per ounce. Do you realize where they could bring us? We're going to look at a chart from a guy who's calling for $159 silver by the end of the year, but that's a very, very good thing when they're telling us that it's bargain hunters. Take a step back and think about it. Bargain hunters buying silver at a spot price of $77 per ounce. But wait, there's more, because there's speculation that a part of this big bounce may be because of a leak that came out. We're going to take a look at that. Again, I want to emphasize speculation. However, the silver trade put this out this morning. The silver rally continues after the U.S. critical minerals price floor plan was leaked. And again, silver being on the U.S. Geological Association, whatever the heck it's called, critical minerals list. And now J.D. Vance has talked about putting in price floors. Will that include silver? Was there indeed a leak? Well, let's go out and see what the Bloomberg headline says, because Bloomberg has this. U.S. agencies have developed critical minerals price floor system. Ooh, this is getting interesting, okay? And there's a picture of a dump truck with some rare earths. That's what rare earths look like, by the way. But the important thing here is that if indeed they do put out a price floor, and if they include silver, who knows what people know? Again, Bloomberg said that, but then I think anything past what Bloomberg said, we could label as speculation, but we aren't speculating even without a price floor. But if they do put in a price floor, that's going to be massively, it's recognition. When we're going to focus on silver, it's recognition just how critical silver has become. We are living in a whole new world for silver and gold, guys, in particular for silver, with everything that's going on right now. Let's look at a chart that shows us and is calling for $159 per ounce silver by year end. And there's something really, really important for us to remember when we look at this chart. Before we do that, speaking of silver, if you want to get your hands on some of the freshest silver in town, check out channel sponsor. There it is right there. First Mint, firstmint.com. Okay. They are owned by First Majestic Silver. They dig the silver up in Mexico. It gets shipped to First Mint in Las Vegas, Nevada, where they create unbelievable world-class silver bullion products. And then it goes straight to you. It literally is the freshest silver on the market, from the mine to the mint to you. Oh yeah, we're going to do a COMEX and an LBMA update later. But when you buy silver from First Mint, it's never touched by the COMEX or the LBMA. It really is the freshest silver in town. Again, you can check them out at firstmint.com. I'll take you out there for 10 seconds to take a look at their website. Here it is right here. And check that out, the new Year of the Horse coin that they have available. It looks absolutely awesome. Firstmint.com, and there is a discount code you can use as a basement dweller. Okay, VIPRB. Now let's go look at this chart that shows us something very, very, very optimistic about what is happening in the silver price right now. This came from a doctor, Dr. Potassium. And I believe he really is a PhD. He says, silver, back to basic, parabolas aside, returning to the major trend line here would still get us to my end of year target of $159 per ounce on time on a linear basis. This chart is amazing, guys. If the major trend line fails, that's a different story, which it has not, and certainly has not after what we're experiencing today. We'll cross that bridge if we come to it. The bull market is still on. Go back to bed, you bears, and take a look. What he pointed out, really easy to see, right? The yellow line is the trend line going all the way back to probably August of last year. And guys, that is absolutely still in play. And what he's looking at as we go through the rest of the year, because remember, on a chart like this, the time is on the horizontal axis, which of course, hold on here. Hold on. Man, we are full of tech issues today, right? Here we are right now. This goes all the way through December of this year. And if this trend line continues, that's how he gets us to 159. The important thing to remember, look, the volatility in the silver market that we've experienced over the last 3 years is nothing short of, I don't know what's a word to describe something, beyond historic, right? It statistically was impossible. What happened on that Friday, January 30th, that crash, that manufactured manipulative price action that was orchestrated, speculating here, but probably by some of the people at the futures market or possibly the LBMA. Nonetheless, the volatility that we've experienced has been hair curling, to say the least. But the big key thing to remember when we looked at that chart is that the long term, well, going back to what would we say, August of last year, the trend is still in place. But even more important for us to realize, in particular as silver investors, volatility is part of the game. Do you remember between 1970 and 1980 when the silver price went from like $1.50 all the way to $50? Do you know that like in 1974, there was a major correction in the silver price, 40-something%, I think 47%, right? In 1974, and then silver went up by like 10x from there. It's part of the game. Volatility in the silver market is a feature, not a bug. It's part of the process. And again, the same thing happened between 2001 and 2011 when the silver price went from under $5 per ounce to about $50 per ounce. We had major pullbacks, very similar to what we just experienced during that period. It feels like it's over. It feels like, oh, the rally's over. It's done. Let's take our silver toys and go home, right? It's normal for that to feel that way. That creates a new base, a consolidation that allows for the price to go higher. Look, I'm not a financial advisor. I don't have a crystal ball. Always be responsible. Okay. Don't make any big decisions, but that's what I believe. And that's what, not just I believe, that's what history has shown us. Real numbers, real other situations, both of which occurred in the last 50 years. And think about this. When you're talking about silver, it's been around for like what, 4,633 years? Okay. So 50 years is not that long of a time period within the broad scope of how long silver has been valuable. Next, we're going to talk about the COMEX. Oh my gosh, did you hear? Right, the COMEX is going to blow up. Is it? Is the COMEX going to break? The COMEX, the CRIMEX, some people call it, or are our hearts going to break? But still, there's a big positive takeaway from all that. Let's say thank you to First Mining Gold for sponsoring Ron's Basement. We love gold. We love silver. First Mining Gold is a company that I've been very fond of for many years, long before they sponsored Ron's Basement. It's a stock I've owned for years and years. They're a development stage company with 2 multi-million ounce big projects in Canada, Springpole in Ontario and Du Parquet located in Quebec, each of which separately have millions of ounces of gold in the ground in Canada. That's very rare. There aren't a lot of big development stage gold projects in favorable jurisdictions like Canada. A lot of things going on with First Mining Gold. They're working through the development process. Could be a catalyst-rich 2026. Always do your own research. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor, but you can learn more about them at firstmininggold.com. Now on to the COMEX. Everybody's clickbait. The COMEX is going to blow up. The COMEX is going to blow up. It's going to break. Or is it our hearts that are going to break? Let's examine. Let's just say what the facts are, and you can be the judge for yourself. Honza Cerne, one of our favorites, says this: COMEX is down to 92 million of registered inventory. Remember, that's the ounces of silver held by the COMEX that are available to satisfy the futures contracts. Okay, there's another category called eligible. Those are already claimed. Those are owned by ETFs, other people. Registered is what matters. The March open interest is now at 285 million. He says, do the math. That's about 193 million more paper than deliverable metal. But guys, I don't want to be Debbie Downer. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but trust me, the smartest people in the room are saying that this probably is not going to happen. Anything's possible. Eventually, do I think the COMEX will go bye-bye? Yeah, I do. I don't think they can keep it up for much longer. But let's go look at what some of the smart people are saying, and I'll explain to you why we should not be anticipating that the COMEX is actually going to blow up. Ole Hansen says this chart is drawing, and Ole is very highly respected. This chart is drawing considerable attention, showing us the SIH6 open interest still well above the volume of registered COMEX. I'll tell you what that is in a second. Held silver available for delivery. So he's basically saying what Hansa just said, right? There's a lot more futures contracts out there than there are actual ounces of silver available to satisfy that demand. He said, with 9 days remaining before the 30-day delivery window opens, he says in yellow, in the coming days, open interest will likely decline sharply through roll activity, which means they move the March contracts to May, or outright position closures, meaning people buy out their position basically themselves, sell it, close it, whatever the case may be. Okay, let's look at his chart, which shows us this. Okay, eligible is in orange. That's this orange silver up here. And over here, right, millions of ounces, 600 million, 500 million, 400 million. Registered is in blue. And as you can see right now, okay, that's the present moment down in the lower right corner. Yes, the blue, the registered inventory is going down to what? 93 million, I think, right? That about right there, 93 million, somewhere in that range, okay? However, what we need to look at here is the SIK6 and the SIH6. This is the the SIH6 is the current contract, the March contract. As you can see, right, because of what Hanze talked about, some of it rolling and some of it being actually closed out, it is going down. What the gray line represents is the May contract. Here, I'll circle it right there. Okay. As you can see, that is going up. I'll just tell you what the smartest people in the room are saying, because look, I'm smart and I follow this stuff closely, but I don't spend endless hours trying to understand the intricate details of the COMEX or the LBMA for that matter. But essentially what's going to happen is that gray line, okay, this gray line that you can see there, which is the May contract, is going to continue to go up, while the black line, the March contract, will continue to go down. And it is very likely, okay, very, very likely that we are not going to see the COMEX break. I know it seems you can look at these numbers right now and say, oh, it's going to break. It's the, and it could happen. No, look, and I'm not going to be sad if it happens, no doubt about it. But very most likely, it's going to all work out. They'll work their paper games. They'll kick the can down the road a little bit further, and we'll go through. But the reality is, the silver, despite all that, the silver market is in a whole new world. A whole new operating system has been installed, and that operating system is called physical demand. And here's a little something real simple to see that shows us in a new way to look at something that we've looked at before, but shows us in no uncertain terms that we are still in good shape when it comes to silver. 5 straight years of silver deficits. This is interesting. I didn't realize this. 5 straight years we've had a silver deficit. 773 million ounces in deficit. When you add it all up, when you aggregate it, or you get the cumulative number, 773 million ounces in deficit since 2021. That's nearly 1 full year of global mine supply erased, right? Because the whole world produces only about 800 million ounces of silver per year. And this was a chart put out by Silver Elephant Mining. Just a little bit different way to look at it. When you see it in a list format like that, red, 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 red. So again, since 2021. So we are now in the 5th year of deficit. More proof that we're okay when it comes to silver, but there's some scary stuff going on in the world. Silver and gold are safe haven assets. They thrive on uncertainty, right? They've been around for 5,000 years. They've had everything, including the kitchen sink, probably many kitchen sinks thrown at them. They've seen every form of fiat money come and go. They've seen it all. Silver and gold have survived, no problemo. But there is some potential big uncertainty. And I'm going to put this under the category of speculation. And I never like to see war. I don't like war, but there's a lot of uncertainty in our world right now. And this came out this morning, which is a little bit scary. Okay. Oh, wait. Hold on. We'll come back to that. Wow. We got more to talk about silver. I forgot more good news about silver, but first this. Eric Young, who's super respected, super reliable, put this out. What is going on? ? And this was a tweet from the War Monitor. They said, just insane. Well, they said this first. 25 tankers are now seen airborne carrying U.S. assets to Europe, in the Middle East. Just a huge airlift is ongoing, blah, 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 blah. Okay. And then he updated it saying, just insane. 5 more tankers have launched in the past hour. Can't emphasize enough how big this airlift is. And some people speculate that when they track all these things, sorry about that. They track all these things. And when these big airlifts are going on, sometimes that's a precursor that there may be some major world events that are going to occur. Again, gold and silver, safe haven assets, but there's even more reason for us, more data that tells us silver in particular has a very optimistic runway ahead. And the reason is this. Let's check this one out. From Hansa, again, silver isn't overcrowded, right? You hear that, oh, silver was in a bubble, silver. No, it was a physical driven rally that did have a bit of a little bubblicious type activity there for about 4 weeks, but silver is not in a rally. I'm sorry, in a bubble. It's in a rally. It's also barely owned. According to the In Gold We Trust report by Ronnie Stoefferle. That's the man right there. Only 0.03% of global wealth is allocated to silver today. Back in 2011, back in 2011, when silver was less, that was actually 0.06. And if my mathematical skills are correct, to get from 0.03 to 0.06, we would need nearly a double, right, in the silver price, basically, at this point, to make that 0.06. If the silver price doubled, right? If silver went to 160 an ounce, well, then we'd be back at the 2011. And guess what? There's nothing saying, when we look at all these ratios, the gold to silver ratio, the amount of world wealth that's invested in silver, there's nothing saying that they can't go higher than what these previous highs had been, right? Guys, look, we got a lot of great stuff that's going to happen in the world of gold and silver. I want to say thank you to a company that supports Ron's Basement. Don't forget, Dirty Man Safe. If you're looking for a way to store things in the ground like the pirates did, right? Check out Dirty Man Safe. It's these things, they open up at the bottom, super robust. You put whatever you want in there, right? I don't know, something metal, valuable that you may own. They seal up. They're really, when they first sent this to me, I was like, wow, this is cool. Okay. It's Dirty Man Safe. And there's a discount code before I forget, Ron 10. Okay. There's always one hanging. Where is it? Right there above First Mining Gold as well. But you can check them out at their website, dirtymansafe.com. You get to bury stuff in your yard. Look, a safety deposit box is great. A fireproof safe is great, but you can also diversify and keep things in the ground, because let's just say that burying things in the ground has been the time-proven way to protect valuables. Just ask any pirate who's been around for 800 years. They'll tell you. Maybe they'll tell you where they got a little bit of that treasure buried as well. All right, guys, thank you for joining me today. All right, please subscribe to the channel. I forgot to ask you that. That means a lot to me and Upstairs Susie. Oh, and thank you. Hey, and please, you know who this is? That's my wife, Upstairs Susie. I wouldn't be here without her. Happy belated Valentine's Day. But she also just informed me that we have a super chat. So let's go out and check that out. Super chats are always super appreciated, never expected. Hey, Renegade Designer, man, you are consistently very, very generous. On behalf of myself and Susie, thank you. Okay. We're actually going to head out to lunch, and maybe I'll buy her a Diet Coke with that. So thank you. No, seriously, guys. Thanks for being part of this community. We love to get here. We call ourselves Basement Dwellers. I'll be back tomorrow. Let's hope for continued, right? We don't need to hope long term, but short term, we can hope for continued strength in the precious metals prices. After everything we talked about today, after everything we've been talking about, the future looks bright. Okay. Take care. Okay. And I will see you. Yeah, I see you. I see you right now, but I'll see you next time as well. Bye-bye.